Hi there, my name is James Carter, and I'm very excited to be with you today. The question of should we institute more gun control or less is a fiercely debated topic here in America. We see it in our media and our government, but what does the common man think? Does it work? Is it not working? Today we'll attempt to answer that question. These are the faces of the children and the teachers killed at the Sandy Hook Elementary School massacre in 2012. Since that time, there's been over 200 school shootings. The answer is gun control working? Is a resounding no. Today we'll address the failure of background checks, other countries' stricter gun control laws, specifically Britain, and whether or not having an armed citizenry reduces violent crime. If you're familiar with the news at all, this man is a perfect example of the failure of background checks. His name is Gary Martin. He's a convicted felon, and yet he still was able to purchase a gun from a federally licensed gun seller. He passed a background check and was able to buy a gun. He used that gun to kill 5 people, and he was terminated from his job and injured 5 more police officers. Now, no state in America allows felons to own or buy a gun. And this man went through the system, and he was still able to do it. This is not necessarily a failure of our existing laws, but rather a failure of the enforcement of the laws that we have. More gun control laws will not solve this. We're not even enforcing the ones that we have. This is a chart of Britain's violent crime. Maybe banning all guns would solve this. Something like Gary Martin killing those people would never happen again if he didn't have access to a handgun. Well, Britain did just that in 1997. They banned handguns completely. This green line right here shows the violent crime committed in 1995. Once handguns were banned, 2 years later, violent crime was up by almost 30%. It's common sense to think that criminals will target the defenseless. And legally, law-abiding citizens will turn in their guns, and criminals won't. And it's to be expected that you're going to see a rise in violent crime. This right here is a chart of the gun homicide rate from 1993 to 2013 in America. The 90s were a very violent time. The government had to institute an assault rifle weapon ban, and even right here in Tennessee, carjackings were very common. And it wasn't until Tennessee introduced a form of stand your ground law that carjacking ceased. In the 1990s, there were 7 murders per 100,000 people, with a gun ownership rate of 0.94 guns per 1 American. 20 years later, that had gone up to 1.45 guns per 1 American, and the homicide rate had dropped by almost half. The only solution to our gun problem seems to be arming the citizenry. Our gun control laws are not working. It's very clear from the failure of background checks and the failure of the reduction of violent crime in Britain once they banned handguns. I would like to encourage all of you to write your state government and hope for a change to make it easier for people to own guns and to protect themselves.